Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to read and understand class 8th poem When I Set Out for Lyonnesse by Thomas Hardy. In this poem, the English novelist and poet has written about his experience of a small journey that he undertook. What kind of experiences did he have in the course of that journey? Let's read in the poem When I Set Out for Lyonnesse. As a young apprentice architect, apprentice is a trainee who works and learns under the supervision of skilled employer and is also paid a fixed but low wage. An architect is a person who designs or plans construction work. As a young apprentice architect, British poet and novelist Thomas Hardy once visited a parish. Parish is a small church in an administrative district, to supervise the restoration. Restoration means renovation of a church. On his return from the parish, people noticed two things about him: a new glow in his eyes and a crumpled piece of paper sticking out of his pocket. Crumpled is crushed. That paper, it is recorded in one of his biographies, contained the draft of a poem. You're going to read that very poem inspired by a visit to a place which the poet calls Lyonnesse. So when Thomas Hardy was young apprentice architect, he visited to see the restoration work of a parish, a church, and while he returned from the parish, people noticed two things about him. There was a new glow in his eyes were glowing, and a crushed piece of paper was sticking out of his coat. That very paper contained this poem. It was written in that very crushed piece of paper, which is mentioned in one of his biographies, and we are going to read that poem now. The place that he visited, the poet called that place Lyonnesse. Lyonnesse is actually in Arthurian legend. It's a mythical birthplace of Sir Tristram in England, and it is believed to have been submerged by the sea. Lyonnesse here in this poem refers to an imaginary place. The poet has given the place that he visited an imaginary name, Lyonnesse. When I set out for Lyonnesse 100 miles away, the rime was on the spray. Rime means frost. Spray means leaves and branches of trees. And starlight lit my lonesomeness. Lonesomeness means being lonely, depressed or sad because of lack of friends or companions. When I set out for Lyonnesse 100 miles away. Set out means start a journey. The poet says that when he started his journey to Lyonnesse, which was 100 miles away, which was quite a distance away, it was winter season and there was frost on the leaves and branches of trees. And the poet's only companion was starlight. There was no one else. He was lonely. He was alone taking that journey during winter season. Now, let's see the poetic devices of this stanza. First, we will go for rhyming scheme. For rhyming scheme, we see the last word of each line. So here we can see the last words are Lyonnesse, away, spray, lonesomeness, Lyonnesse, away. Away, spray and away rhyme with each other, whereas lonesomeness, Lyonnesse, they also rhyme. So the poetic device of this stanza is A, B, B, A, A, B. Coming to the figure of speech, first, if you see this line, lit my lonesomeness, there is L sound repeated. So there is alliteration here. Also, we see that first two lines and last two lines are repeating in the poem. When in a stanza, same line comes in the beginning and end, there is a figure of speech called refrain. So in this stanza, we have alliteration and refrain. Now going to next stanza. What would behance at Lyonnesse? Behance means happen or become of him. While I should sojourn there. Sojourn means stay there. No prophet durst declare. Prophet means a person who is regarded as teacher or who is proclaimer of the will of God. A person who declares about the will of God. Durst declare. Durst means dead. Here it is a poetic word which means dead. Nor did the wisest wizard guess. Wizard is a magician. What should behance at Lyonnesse while I should sojourn there? So the poet says that when he stays there at Lyonnesse, what will become of him? What will happen to him? He doesn't know. Even prophet or a wizard cannot declare or guess what will happen to him, what will become of him when he stays at Lyonnesse. That means he is not aware of the future of staying at Lyonnesse, what will become of him. Neither do any other person is aware of what would happen to him at Lyonnesse. Again, the rhyming scheme of this stanza, A, B, B, A, B. What would does declare, wisest wizard. Again, there is alliteration, and first two lines and last two lines are repeating. So, refrain. Next stanza. When I return from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes, all marked with mute surmise. Surmise means suppose that something is true without having evidence to confirm it. That means something happened. It is there. You don't have evidence of it, but something surely happened. My radiance rare and fathomless. Radiance means glow, and fathomless is so deep that depth cannot be measured. When I returned from Lyonnesse with magic in my eyes. Now, when the poet returned from Lyonnesse, there was a glow, there was a happiness, there was a magic in his eyes, and it was mute, it was untold, it was unspoken about, but it was understood that something good has happened at Lyonnesse, which has made the poet's eyes and face glow. And something which was so deep that cannot be measured. Something very good has actually happened with the poet. It was actually his experience of staying there, his happiness, which has happened to him. Again, rhyming scheme, A, B, B, A, B. Magic in my eyes, marked with mute, and radiance rare, alliteration, and refrain in first two and second last two lines. Also, there is another figure of speech called symbolism in the entire poem. What is symbolism? Symbolism is actually using symbolic images and indirect suggestions to express a mystical idea, emotion, or state of mind. That means symbols are used to express ideas, emotions, or state of mind. Here, Lyonnesse itself symbolizes a magical place which enlightens the poem, which makes the poet happy. Starlit symbolizes hope. His companion was starlit. That means hope when he started his journey. And radiance symbolizes joy and satisfaction. There was radiance on his face. That means he was happy and he was satisfied when he was in Lyonnesse. What is the learning and message of the poem? There is a very small but very impactful message that we should enjoy and learn from every small thing in our life, even if it is a small journey, as everything has its own importance and influence. And in the end, question answers. Here are the question answers at the working with the poem at the end of the poem. You can go through the question answers yourself, pause the video and go through the question answers. So this was about the poem, children. I hope you have learned, you have understood, and you have liked the poem. I will take your leave now. I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.